Home Minister Amit Shah holds meeting on farmer issues. Union Minister Narendra Singh Tomar and Piyush Goyal also attend the meet. Fourth round of meeting with farmers' representatives will be held tomorrow. India continues to make rapid stride in fight against coronavirus. Third phase trial of co-vaccine begins across the country, including Kolkata and Bengaluru. Dr. Reddy starts Russia's Sputnik 5 vaccine trials in India. Cyclone alert sounded for parts of Kerala, Tamil Nadu. A cyclonic storm, Burevi, likely to intensify further. Cyclone expected to cross South Tamil Nadu on 4th early morning. NDRF teams deployed to combat the arising situation. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath attends listing of Lucknow Municipal Cooperation Bond at Bombay Stock Exchange. Says listing of Rs 200 crore bond is a step towards Atmanirbharta for Lucknow Municipal Corporation. COVID-19 cases rise more than 6 crore 40 lakh worldwide, with more than 14 lakh 80,000 fatalities. UK approves Pfizer and BioNTech's coronavirus vaccine. Vaccine for rolling out next week. US plans faster vaccine delivery. Government constitutes high-level ministerial committee for implementation of Paris Agreement. Committee aims to generate coordinated response on climate change matters. Senior officials from 14 ministries will serve as members to the AIPA. India gives target of 303 runs to win in the third ODI against Australia. Virat Kohli scores half-century, becomes fastest batsman to reach the exclusive club of players scoring 12,000 ODI runs. Good evening and welcome to this bulletin. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. Union Home Minister Amit Shah today held a meeting at his residence to discuss the farmers' issue. Union Ministers Narendra Singh Tomar, Piyush Goyal also attended the meeting. The meeting came after Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar's meeting with Farmers' Union yesterday. Within a week of Cyclone Nivar hitting Tamil Nadu, another cyclonic storm is set to hit its southern districts, bringing heavy to very heavy rains in the state between December 2nd and 4th. Cyclone Burevi is expected to cross South Tamil Nadu coast between Kanyakumari and Pamban between the night of December 3rd and 4th. Chief Minister E.K. Palanisamy said all precautionary measures were in place to minimize the possible damage that could be caused by the weather system. Neighbouring states have been requested to permit Tamil Nadu fishermen to berth on their shores. This followed a Met Department advisory to fishermen not to venture into the sea. Meanwhile, 17 teams of the NDRF have been pre-positioned in southern districts, including Kanyakumari, Tirunelveli, Tuticorin and Madurai districts. Army, Navy and Air Force teams are also ready to deal with any emergencies. Government has directed officials to monitor water levels in the rivers and dams in southern districts in view of the possibility of floods in the wake of heavy rains. Some COVID-related news now. The trend of new recoveries exceeding new cases of COVID continue, leading to reduction of active caseload in the country. There has been a sustained decrease in the number of active cases in India. As of today, India's total active caseload had significantly dropped to 4.28 lakh. This is the lowest after 132 days. The total active cases were 4,26,167 on 23rd of July 2020. India's present active caseload comprises of 4.51% of the country's total positive cases. The daily new cases added to the country's COVID numbers have been around 30,000 since the past 3 days. The number of daily new cases in the last 24 hours is 36,604. Meanwhile, 43,062 cases of COVID recovered and were discharged in the last 24 hours. The number of daily recovered cases has surpassed the daily new cases since the past 5 days. The difference in new recoveries outnumbering new cases has also improved the recovery rate to over 94%. The total recovered cases stand at 89,32,647. 78.35% of the new recovered cases are observed to be concentrated across 10 states and union territories. The third phase trial of Bharat Biotech vaccine also began in Bengaluru today. Karnataka Chief Minister B.H. Yediyurappa initiated the phase 3 trial virtually. The first dosage is being administered today, while the second will be administered on December 30th. Around 1,000 volunteers are taking part in these trials. The trials will be conducted at Vaidehi Institute of Medical Sciences and Research Centre in Bengaluru. The third phase trials of Covaxin, the vaccine for COVID-19, begins at National Institute of Cholera and Enteric Disease in Kolkata today. Around 1,000 volunteers would be administered the vaccine. Half of the volunteers will be receiving the first candidate vaccines, indigenously developed by Hyderabad-based Bharat Biotech and ICMR, while the rest will be given placebos. Another shot will be administered to each of the volunteers after 4 weeks of the first one. According to ICMR, regulatory trial has the aim to determine the protective efficacy of Covaxin among volunteers against COVID-19 infection. In a big latest development in the fight against COVID-19, United Kingdom has approved Pfizer BioNTech vaccine for rollout from next week. Pfizer CEO said that UK vaccine approval is a historic moment in COVID-19 battle. Department of Health and Social Care spokesperson said the government has accepted the recommendation from Independent Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency to approve Pfizer BioNTech's COVID-19 vaccine for use. This follows months of rigorous clinical trials and a thorough analysis of data by experts at MHRA, who have concluded that the vaccine has met its strict standards of safety, quality and effectiveness. It added the vaccine will be made available across the UK from next week. And BioNTech in a tweet message said that exciting news, we received the world's first authorization of COVID-19 vaccine, with MHRA granting emergency use authorization in the UK. More regulatory decisions may come in 2020. Meanwhile, Sputnik 5, the first registered COVID-19 vaccine from Russia, arrived in India on Tuesday for clinical trials. Russian Direct Investment Fund and Dr. Reddy's lab initiated the clinical trials of the vaccine. Russia became the first country to register world's first COVID-19 vaccine on August 11th. Sputnik 5 was developed by Gamaleya National Research Center for Epidemiology and Microbiology of the Russian Healthcare Ministry. Last month, Russia had said that Sputnik 5 is 92% effective at protecting people from COVID-19, according to the first interim analysis. After phase 2nd and 3rd clinical trials for Sputnik 5 commenced in India, Russian Ambassador Nikolai Kudashev has said comprehensive countering the spread of coronavirus is a priority area for Russia-India bilateral and multilateral strategic partnership. Kudashev tweeted and he said in the message, comprehensive cooperation in countering the spread of novel coronavirus infection is a priority area. The Russia and India bilateral and multilateral strategic partnership ready to continue every interaction and coordination in this area to support global effort to combat COVID-19. And beyond COVID, India continues to make impressive gains in reduction of malaria burden in the country. According to World Malaria Report 2020 released by WHO, India has made considerable progress in reducing its malaria burden. India is the only high endemic country which has reported a decline of 17.6% in 2019 as compared to 2018. The annual parasitic incidence API reduced by 27.6% in 2018 compared to 2017 and by 18.4% in 2019 as compared to 2018. India has sustained API less than 1 since the year 2012. India has also contributed to the largest drop in cases region-wide from approximately 20 million to about 6 million. The percentage drop in the malaria cases was 71.8% and casualties was 73.9% between the year 2000 and 2019. In some other news, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, along with prominent industrialists, today attended the listing of Lechner Municipal Cooperation Bond at Bombay Stock Exchange. Lucknow has become the 9th city in India to have raised municipal bonds and the first city to issue such a bond after the launch of Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation Scheme. The funds raised through the bond will be invested in various infrastructure schemes in the state capital, including water supply project and housing project being implemented under the Amrit scheme. Speaking on the occasion, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister said, Rs 200 crore Lucknow Municipal Corporation Bond can mark the beginning of a new era.
200 करोड़ रुपए के म्युनिसिपल बॉन्ड क्या यहाँ पर लिस्टिंग हो रही है और अगर प्रदेश की राजधानी लखनऊ इस प्रक्रिया के साथ जुड़ रहा है तो स्वाभाविक रूप से अन्य नगर निकायों को भी इसकी प्रेरणा प्राप्त होगी, वे इसका मार्गदर्शन करेंगे और इसलिए मैं उत्तर प्रदेश में नगर निकायों की दृष्टि से इसे एक नए युग की शुरुआत मानता हूं.
And later, addressing a press conference, Yogi Adityanath said discussions were held with several producers, directors, actors and other experts related to film industry to build a world-class film city in Uttar Pradesh.
उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर हम लोग एक वर्ल्ड क्लास की फिल्म सिटी के निर्माण की कार्रवाई को आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं और फिल्म जगत से जुड़े हुए बहुत सारे जो निर्माता हैं, निर्देशक हैं, इस फील्ड में कार्य करने वाले जो एक्टर हैं या इसके विभिन्न पक्षों के जानकार हैं, उन सब के साथ भी हमारी व्यक्तिगत रूप से भी और सामूहिक रूप से भी चर्चा हुई है. ये फिल्म सिटी हम लोग एनसीआर में नोएडा के पास यमुना अथॉरिटी में बना रहे हैं. 1000 एकड़ से अधिक क्षेत्रफल में हम लोग इस नई फिल्म सिटी का निर्माण करने जा रहे हैं.
National Pollution Control Day is being observed today. The day is observed in memory of those who suffered and lost their lives in the tragic 1984 Bhopal gas tragedy. Union Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Minister Prakash Javadekar, has tweeted a video of an excerpt of Prime Minister Modi's speech. On the occasion, he said, the Government of India has waged a war against pollution. 100 cities aim to reduce pollution considerably in 5 years. And Union Minister Dr. Harshvardhan today said that treatment of sewage water is essential to meet the challenge of water scarcity in the coming years. He called upon CSIR scientists to scale up their sewage treatment technology and install it in all their campuses across the country. Dr. Harshvardhan was addressing CSIR scientists via virtual medium after inaugurating the eco-friendly, efficient Pfizer technology sewage treatment plant. The minister also said national recovery rate to over 94% for COVID, while case fatality rate stands at 1.45%, which is one of the best in the world.
Joining me is Union Minister Dr. Harshvardhan to talk on the new initiative of CSIR. Sir, CSIR has been at the forefront with new technologies. Now sewage treatment is a point that they have been working on.
CSIR NIRI, one of our prestigious laboratories in Nagpur, has developed this, you see, it's a sewage treatment plant, and this is using the specific plants which you can say called, you can say that these are water plants, and a large number of such varieties have been found and researched, and then these plants are used for treating sewage, and they are able to extract the pollutants from that, and that those pollutants are used as you see nutrition by the plants, and the sewage which normally has 98.5% of water and just 1.5% is pollutant, it is restored back to, you see, water, and the water's quality as per the claim is that it can even be used for drinking purposes. Of course, for gardening and other uses it can always be done.
Do you think it's time to scale it up also now?
I have told the DG CSIR to ensure that in the next 1 year or so we should be able to implement this technology in all our CSIR labs. So we have today one of the best parameters reflected with 94%, over 94% recovery rate, 1.45% fatality rate, every day more than 1 million tests being performed, almost 14 crore tests have been done in the country, cases per million, deaths per million, tests per million. On every front our data is comparable to the best in the whole world, and in fact we are far better than most of the developed countries of the whole world.
India is on the cusp of recovery and they are doing more number of tests every day. With cameraman Surendra, this is Tapush Bhattacharya, DD India, Delhi.
And in another move that reaffirms India's seriousness to walk the talk on climate change, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has constituted a high-level inter-ministerial apex committee for implementation of Paris Agreement. It's called AIPA, under chairmanship of Secretary, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. The purpose of AIPA is to generate a coordinated response on climate change matters that ensures that India is on track towards meeting its obligations under Paris Agreement, including its nationally determined contributions. Senior officials from 14 ministries will serve as members to AIPA, who will oversee the progress and implementation of India's NDC and receive periodic information updates to monitor, review and revisit climate goals to fulfill the requirements of the global agreement. China's Chang'e 5 spacecraft successfully landed on the near side of the moon late on Tuesday and sent back images, the China National Space Administration announced. The spacecraft landed at the pre-selected landing area near 51.8 degrees west longitude and 43.1 degree north latitude late on Tuesday. The lander-ascender combination of Chang'e 5 started a power descent from about 15 kilometers above the lunar surface, with the variable thrust engine ignited. Its relative vertical velocity to the moon was lowered from 1.7 kilometers per second to 0. After successfully landing on the lunar surface, the probe conducted a series of examinations and setting, including deploying solar panels and antenna. It will start its 2-day work on the lunar surface and collect samples as well. US President-elect Joe Biden formally introduced his top economic policy advisors on Tuesday as his administration prepares to take power amid slowing economic recovery hampered by the resurgent COVID pandemic. Before announcing his economic team, Biden urged lawmakers to pass a coronavirus aid package that has been stalled in the Congress for months and promised more action to reactivate the economy after he takes office next month. Biden said any such package passed by Congress before he takes over on January 20th would at best be just a start. Massive bushfires on Fraser Island have forced tourists to flee the islands off Australia's northeastern coast, as nearly half the island, that is some 76,000 hectares, has been charred during the first major heat wave of the country's bushfire season. According to Queensland State Fire Department, more than 1 million litres of water and fire retardant gel have been dropped on the fires since Saturday. On to some cricket news. Chasing a target of 303 runs, Australia were batting at 282 for 9 in the third and final match of the ODI series. Earlier, India opted to bat first, scored 302 runs for the loss of 5 wickets in the stipulated 50 overs. Hardik Pandya was the top scorer with an unbeaten 92 of 76 balls. Ravindra Jadeja remained not out at 66. Skipper Virat Kohli contributed 63 runs. Kohli also became the fastest batsman to score 12,000 ODI runs.
A bit of conjecture as to whether he said that or not as they take the quick single. This incredible depth.
And we're watching some live updates coming in of the match between Australia and India. India set a target of 303 runs for Australia. Australia in the 49th over, playing at the moment 284 for 9 wickets. Remember, Australia has already won the series, winning the first 2 matches. This is the third and final ODI. Good day for skipper Virat Kohli on a personal level. He completed 12,000 run in the fastest manner in the one-day record. There's a close call of a run out there. Watching those live visuals of India versus Australia cricket match. And Curtis Jones sent a depleted Liverpool through to the Champions League last 16 on Tuesday. Liverpool were without a host on key players for the visit of Ajax to Anfield in Group D. Teenager Jones scored the only goal just before the hour. The result was vital for the Premier League champions after their home loss to Atlanta a week ago, and it allowed them to secure a spot in the knockout phase. And a koala is seen on video trying to cool off on a sprinkler as temperatures rose across Australia in a heat wave that was forecast to last 5 to 6 days. Temperatures in Queensland have been expected to reach the 40-degree mark next couple of days. Severe heat wave is on. Bureau of Met Department issuing severe fire warnings in South Queensland and the Rural Fire Service as well. And there we have the visuals of the koala enjoying himself in the severe heat wave in Australia. Some bit of relief for the little koala and the scorching heat of Australia. And with that, we conclude this bulletin. Namaskar.